Hi everyone, it's John here, and welcome to this week's edition of Friday Freebies. So this week we're going to take a look at some discount options in Xpos. So this is more related to January sales, sort of the early part of next year once you've gone through Christmas, before you get all your deliveries for the up and coming year, before the season starts. Maybe you want to kind of have a refresh in the pro shop, have a look around the shop and see kind of what areas maybe should you look to try and clear out lines of stock that you might have had for a while. So going to help with kind of two areas really. First of all, we're going to take a look at how do you look for products that maybe you can put into those promotions or sales. What can you discount down? What have you been maybe stuck with that isn't selling so well? And then secondly, we're going to look at the different ways to discount those items. So this is kind of to make your life easier in the sales screen to make it a little bit more efficient. Okay, then. So first of all, then, as I mentioned, we're going to take a look at a couple of reports that should hopefully help you. So into our report in here. Um, Now then, so the first thing I'd look at is have a look at the unpopular products report. So if you haven't taken a look at the reports, sales, unpopular products. Now the unpopular products reports over on the right hand side here, we've got quite a few different filters. I'm actually just going to change this to where we've got group by product variant. So this would be size and color. And I'm going to exclude products with sales. So we only want to see products that I haven't sold. So you could obviously say not exclude, and then you would see all your products where you maybe only sold one or two and you've got high volume. But initially, I just want to see any product that I've never sold. So we're just going to keep everything like it is for now. Click on View Report. So this report we get here then, left-hand side, as we can see, products. So we see all the sizes and colors because it might be that maybe a certain color or size sells really well, but certain colors and sizes don't sell very well. So on the left-hand side here, you've got your product quantity. Then you've got your value of stock, which is obviously, I think, quite important because that's the cost it's costing you as a business to hold that stock. That money could obviously be spent on new stock if it was sold through. Then you've got previous sales. So that's the key one. We've never sold any of these items. The big one then to look at is that the date the item was last stocked in. So when it was created and stocked in, obviously if these two here were stocked in, created at the same day. If there's a bigger date, if it was quite recent, you haven't sold it, maybe you stocked it in a week ago, I wouldn't necessarily say that's an issue, but we're looking at any dates. I mean, 2023 is a big one, obviously. But obviously 2024, earlier part of the year, midway through the year, again, that's something to really keep an eye out for. So yeah, the idea here is I would sort of potentially print this report and you could actually go around the shop, highlight those items ready, maybe to put some offers or reduce down potentially to clear if you feel obviously, they are items that you obviously want to sell. So this is just giving you some information here. It's not saying do this. This is just obviously an idea that you could use this report for. So obviously at the top here, you could print out the report and obviously get that on some paper and check it off and highlight as you go. Okay, so that was the unpopular products report. Now we're going to just have a look at the stock value report then. So we're going to have a look at the current stock valuation here. Okay, so the stock valuation report then, what we're going to do with this report is we're going to come in and view it by, let's go by product here. Now you could break this down if you like, and you could say, I just want to look at clothing because you look around the shop and you see you're quite heavily stocked on clothing. I mean, obviously for me here, I mean, this is obviously just a bit of data and a test system, but you could see I could sort of maybe just target golf balls and food and drink and company logo because they're the really high categories. I'm going to run this for everything here. Okay, then. So the report is loaded. So left-hand side, we've obviously got our brand, we've got our products, current stock level. So key areas that I'm looking to show you here then. So obviously we're not looking at sales, we're looking at current stock and the current sort of what the cost is to the business and the percentage of the category, what you've got in stock, and stock turn, which I'll explain, and last stocked in. So this report's really useful as well, actually, to go with that unpopular products report. So we'll just look at a couple of examples here. So anything with a zero stock turn means that product has never been sold in the business. Obviously, I'm not going to look at these minuses because this is a test system here. But yeah, anything with, generally, we would say anything with a stock turn of one or below because technically you haven't sold that product for a 12-month cycle. And then if that is true, you could have a look at when you last stocked in. So for example, that item here, I stocked 9 in, but I only stocked them in the 26th of November. That's very recent. I wouldn't necessarily say that's sort of any issue. But we've got these pitchforks here that have got a, sort of cost of £70. There's a bit of a cost there. And there's no stocked in, so I've never sold one, and these were stocked in July. So that could be an item that I look at. So this report, I would just have a little look through, have a, sort of keep an eye on when there's a lot of something, i.e. these golf balls here with quite a large cost to the business. They've never been stocked, and when they were last stocked in. So just keep an eye on that, those key areas: quantity, the value of the business, sort of stock cost for you guys that's costing you to keep them, because that's what you're spending on stock potentially in the future of products that could be turning over fast. And then obviously the next one here is going to be stock turn. So if it's 1 or below, that keep an eye on that. And then finally the last stocked in date as well, which you could look at unpopular products, but in here, for example, down the bottom here, I've got November 23. So I've got here, there's a couple of dates there that are obviously quite a while ago. Those are the areas you target. Again, print this report off by all means, but they're 2 really useful reports. So you've got the unpopular products, and then you've got the stock valuation. Okay then, so we've looked at some products, and we'll look at sort of how do we discount items then. So there's sort of 3 options for discounting. So option number 1 is to go into the product screen, so settings and products. And if we go into price bands, so if you haven't set a price band before, or you're not aware of what price bands are where you could set a discount into the system to run automatically behind the scenes. So a couple of examples on my screen are, I've got a staff discount set up for my staff in my shop. That automatically means that if I have a staff member that purchases something, they will automatically get cost plus VAT. So if I just show you what that one looks like here. So this is where I've just said staff discount, it's cost plus VAT. This obviously started a while back. It's in the Pro Shop, and it only applies to customers with the customer type staff on their accounts. So if we went to my customers, and we can see if there's any customers with the word staff against them. So you've got Jacob here, Jacob staff. So if we go into the sales screen and we'll search for Jacob, and if we pop any item into the system, we should now see that this item pops up as cost plus VAT. If we took away Jacob, we can see it's gone back to full price. So that's what basically an automated, so that's what the sort of price band does, is it automatically takes whatever the price band settings are, it automatically takes that off the sale based on what you've set that up. Okay, so a couple of others. I mean, my one here, we've got a shoe sale. That's a really simple example for that one. What we've done is we've just said that there's a shoe sale. I mean, this is a previous one, but 20% off between these 2 dates. And it applies in the Pro Shop on men's and ladies' shoes. There is no customer applied to this sort of promotion or price band. So what this means is that any customer that buys a pair of shoes between those 2 dates, they will automatically come off at that price. So there's a few others. I mean, I've got a member discount, the drinks, the ball promo. We're just going to set a new one up today then. So we've looked at all of our kind of products. And I realized that I'm quite heavily stocked on Strixon golf balls, so that's what I want to target. So I could pop in a ball sale. Now, obviously, don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning making, putting sales through Xpos. What we're saying is, if you are going to do it, here's a couple of ways to do this. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go 20%, and I'm just going to say I'm going to start this today just for our benefit here. I'm going to finish this on the. So you could technically do the 1st of January to the 31st. I mean, I'm going to run this till the end of January. Then if you've got multiple locations, you could pick a location. I'm just going to do the Pro Shop here. I mean, obviously you could do it on both locations. Locations, just to explain, would be like my screen here. Maybe I've got a fitting studio with golf products I sell from and a golf shop, or a driving range and a shop. You could just apply the discount in one category or one area location. I want this sale here for the golf balls to apply for all sales to all customers. So I'm going to leave these blank. I only want it to apply to Shrixon. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to pick Shrixon from my brands list. And I only want it to apply to golf balls. So product group, I'll just do balls. So we'll just select balls here, save. Now, publish price band. So the idea is you can create a price band, but you might not want it started straight away at that point in the day. So you could say no and then click on it and publish it later in the day. I'm going to publish my price band though. And then if we go into the sales screen, and let's just sell some golf balls here then. So I'm just going to grab, actually quickly look for some Shrixon golf balls because I haven't got a barcode to scan. So Shrixon Divide golf balls, sell a dozen of those. And we can see here now that 20% has come off the sale. So nice and easy. Customer's just going to pop that through a second. So there we go. So that was price bands. Obviously, there's lots of different ways you can set a price band up. So you could have a look at that. And if you've got any questions, by all means, please shout and let me know. Let's go in the sales screen then. So a couple of manual ways to discount items. So first of all, potentially we've got quite a few items in the sales screen. So let's grab a couple of items here. Here we go. So we've got a few items in the sales screen. Now, item discount. So might be that this golf bag, we just want to sell it at £300 because, you know, we've put a promotion on that. So we can tap on it or double tap or select the item, which means it's got a blue bar around it, press edit, and we can change it like so. So you can either enter the new price you want the item to be, and also handy little margin indicator on the left here, which is a great tool to use. Or you can actually enter a percentage in. So if we said, right, 5% off, I'm going to make this £300 today then. Likewise, it might be, I don't know, maybe this beanie hat, we've said we'll discount that as well. So I'll pop that down. There we go. So we can see on the screen your subtotal and the discount as well on the transaction. So press pay. Different way to discount would be maybe you've said, I'm going to give 10% off all sales for one weekend only. So that would be the discount basket. So instead of the first screen here, item discount, we're going to now discount the whole basket. So we're going to say 10% off. So tap 10% and update basket. There is also an option if you want to enter a fixed price instead of that. You could say, I want to make this sale £350, like so. But for this particular sale, I'm going to discount the basket by 10%. Update, and then we can just pop that through. So there we go, guys. That was just some hints and tips for you. So really, first of all, it's just looking at a couple of reports that can help you along the way. So unpopular products report and also the stock valuation report, looking at low stock turn and when the items were last stocked in to really kind of look at. It's far too easy sometimes to say, right, you know, we've got more FootJoy clothing coming in, I'll reduce the FootJoy. But the thing is, if FootJoy sells really well, you don't necessarily need to reduce it. Look at the products that you don't sell and try and clear those out. Otherwise, you're still going to be left with those low selling items in a year's time. And then gradually they're not going to do anything to the business apart from take up space in the shop. And then next, really, we're just looking at a few ways to discount. So setting up some price bands and then item discount or basket discount in the sales screen. Well, have a great weekend, guys. Like always, if you have any questions whatsoever, please give me a shout at john.xpos.co.uk. Or obviously contact one of the support team up at the top here in your Xpos. You can use the live chat and contact my colleagues in the support team. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you on the next one.